If your currency's total debt to GDP ratio, private and public debt approaches or exceeds 200%, then there's a high probability your fiat currency will be buried in the graveyard. We're going to break it down. All right, we're going to talk about the fiat graveyard. Let's spend a little time here talking about this, the fiat graveyard. The fiat graveyard, a history of monetary folly. Living in denial about the economy. I still see many Americans living in denial about the fate of the US dollar. Even when they know the past performances is not guarantee of future performance, they still say things like, yes, the 2008 bailouts were bad, but our economy has stabilized and will be okay. No, the economy will not be okay, and the chart below illustrates why. The U.S. money supply 1959 to 2018. Money printing is wealth theft, okay? As the chart below illustrates, the money printing in the U.S. since 1900 has destroyed 98% of the USD's value. But what happens to the value of the USD when the money supply shoots up like a missile and has occurred since 2008? It loses even more value and will eventually and inevitably collapse along with the value of every asset that is denominated in the USD. This has happened many times in recent and not so recent history, and when it happens, the currency is usually killed and buried in the fiat currency graveyard. The US dollar purchasing power during the 20th century. Federal Reserve created, World War, crash, Great Depression, World War, Korean War, Vietnam War, gold standard killed, stagflation, Gulf War, War on Terror, the economic crisis. All right. The average lifespan of a fiat currency is about 35 years. The following list of currencies is a small sample of the fiat currencies throughout the past 1,000 years that have collapsed due to corrupt or incompetent monetary policymaking. Hyperinflation is one of the most common precursors to a fiat currency's collapse. Keep in mind that most of these currencies below collapsed within the lifetime of most baby boomers living today, like my parents and yours if you're around my age. So hyperinflation and currency collapses are not exceptionally rare events. In fact, the average lifespan of a fiat currency is only about 35 years, which means these events happen more frequently than many people even realize. And the list goes on, and we went over this today in the live, but I want to relearn it again. Will your fiat currency be next? And how do you find out? Well, this is how you figure it out, okay? Based on the historic average lifespan of a fiat and the data table and the scorecard, if your currency's total debt to GDP ratio, private and public debt approaches or exceeds 200%, then there's a high probability your fiat currency will be buried in the graveyard, right? He is selling a book, I guess, and I have not, of course, right? Beautiful move. Nice work, right? And this, you want to corroborate, but this is true. Fiat currency gets printed to the point of no return. We've been printing money to the point of no return. This is where we stand. This goes hand in hand with the Fed meeting today and what we're going to see.